MK's Pride, clearly a very, very competitive horse in any distance, although you'd have to say that 7 furlongs to a mile probably is his best, but he's got so much heart, this guy.
Yeah, I was looking at his form. He has failed at 2000 at Turfentine, I think, twice. And in last year's Summer Cup day, he was running in the Merchants. This year's running in the Summer Cup. So there's a bit of a difference. He's a nice horse, but I think stretched at 2000 at Turfentine.
I had a friendly chat to Koos and Kwali, but he's not interested. He just wants to run in the Summer Cup, that's it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, why not? Because otherwise there's nothing else to run in.
Yeah. You have to wait for the King's Plate.
You've got to wait for the King's Plate, so. He's probably going to need another run to bring him to a peak, because he's a horse too, I find, not straightforward to train.
All right, Sparkling Water, the Illa de Vittoria of the race, I have to say, because she just gets better and better. And I was speaking to Racing Post's international journalist who's out here, and he was awestruck by her presence.
Yeah, she's a nice filly, and she's even a bigger, stronger filly today. But I mean, again, that's just genetics. We're looking at a Silvano filly that's just got better with each year. So, but that is just typical of Silvano.
And of course, it doesn't harm to have Espermonte in the pedigree. It would be such a fitting day, without getting emotional, for the Betway Summer Cup and Mary Slack.
Yeah, Andrew, we've had our fairy tale in Durban. We cherish that with the July. Whatever she does after that is a bonus. I think she could have a good year, given that she's really sort of muscled up and matured very, very nicely. She had a good rest at Maritzfontein. This is only her second run this season. She's got a campaign ahead of her. Garden Province Met back here again for the Champions Cup. So she's got a long road ahead of her, and she's not got a lot of miles on the clock, so we're looking forward to a nice season with her.
And then I had a very, very brief chat walking into the parade ring the other day with Muzi Geni, and he says he really, really doesn't think that he can beat Sparkling Water. But the bottom line is that Safe Passage is just this horse that continues to sneak under the radar and deliver 5-star performances.
Yeah, and he doesn't always give away a lot. If I look at him at 3, and now he's filled out. He's put on a bit of weight. He's grown slightly. He's definitely a heavier horse than he was at 3. Also another horse with a long season ahead of him. This is only the second run back. We've got to be cognizant that we'd like him still around at the July this year. So he's going to run here. He'll be going to Cape Town next week with a couple to go Queen's Plate Met, come back here again, similar sort of program of Sparkling Water. But he's in a good space. He had a good rest running around the paddock after the July. I thought it was pretty important. He had a hard season with illness in between and whatever. So I think he's in a good space, even though he doesn't give away much.
And Aragosta, he's never far behind. Perhaps a little disappointing in his return to racing after KwaZulu-Natal, but I'm sure he's going to be spot on for Saturday.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. He's also only having one run back. He also had a month in the paddock. I think you can draw a line through his last run. It was ridiculous. He just ran into everything's backside, and he was all over the show. Maybe didn't enjoy the blinkers, tried them, didn't work. Another horse is in a pretty good space.
Can we put him in the quartet? Is he a lurker for the quartet?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at the weights, he's handicapped to turn it around with Safe Passage. As is Red Saxon, as is Pyromaniac. There's a few of them. So on the Daily News run, where he was penalised pretty unfairly, in my opinion, given that the line horse that took us, the horse that did everything wrong in the race. So. But he's
Pomp and power, yeah?
He's also got a long season ahead of him.